Hello, welcome to Friday Sews. I'm Christine. Today on Friday Sews, I'm going to tell you about what I've been sewing, what my upcoming plans are, and a little bit about life. You can find other sewing vloggers with a similar style by searching the YouTube search bar for Friday Sews. So today I'm wearing my latest make. This is the Billie jumper by Tilly and the Buttons. Here's the pattern. I know, I am super late to the Billie party. This has been all over the place for a couple of years now, and I was slow to purchase it and slow to make it up because I already had a sweatshirt, sweater dress pattern that I love, and that's the Southbank sweater dress by Nina Lee. This pattern is different enough that I thought I should really give it a try, and I've seen so many great versions out there. The difference in the two patterns, and I'll insert a photo somewhere of the Southbank sweater dress by Nina Lee, is in the neckline. This has a crew neckline. The Southbank has like a mock turtleneck. The Billie has a little bit more narrow sleeves, and the sleeves aren't quite dropped as much. The length of the dress is exactly the same. I laid out my pattern piece for the Southbank on top of the Billie jumper dress, and I saw a couple of differences there. The Billie has a little bit more volume through the body of the dress. I find the Southbank kind of nips in a little bit more at the waist. It is definitely not a form-fitting garment, but it does follow my shape a little more closely than the Billie jumper dress. And the pockets, that's a really big difference. The pockets on the Billie are described as gorgeous cutaway pockets. They're great. I really like how they go in. And let me show you the line drawings. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. If this does not come up clear enough on the screen, I'll insert a photo. But I love the style line, and I'd say the other difference is in the hemband. The hemband is a little snugger fit on the Billie. It brings in the shape to a little bit more of a cocoon shape. So I knew that I wanted to make the Billie, but I also knew, because I've watched enough YouTube videos and followed on Instagram the hashtag for the Billie dress, that I would want to make some alterations in order to get this to fit me the way I wanted to fit. So the one thing that I saw, I wouldn't say universal, but just about everybody who has made this dress has lowered the neckline or has commented on the next time they make it, they thought they would lower the neckline. So right out of the gate, I decided I'm just going to lower this neckline. I'm going to learn from everybody, and I took this down 3/4 of an inch. And what I did was I took the Jackson pullover neckline and I borrowed that. So this is the pattern piece that I cut out. I traced the Jackson neckline from Helen's Closet, and I used that, and I'm very happy with the results. Again, it's 3/4 of an inch lower. Had I not dropped the neckline, this collar, or this neckband, I should say, would be hitting me right across my throat here, and I think it would have bugged me. I've said previously, I love the neckline of the Jackson pullover. It is the Goldilocks of necklines for me. I like a crew neckline that is higher. I don't like a really low dip neckline, particularly on a sweatshirt, because I'm wearing a sweatshirt to be cozy, so I don't want a low or deep V on a sweatshirt. Love this, and it lays so flat. I should say lies so flat. I did increase the length of my neckband in order to accommodate lowering it a little bit. So this went in so nicely. I don't think I top stitched this. I did not. It was lying so flat, I didn't bother with top stitching, though I may go back and redo that just because. The other change I made was comparing the pattern pieces and knowing that this dress was going to be the same length as the Southbank sweater dress that I most recently made. I knew I wanted to add some length to it. So I tried on my Southbank sweater dress and I decided I wanted to add 1.5 inches. So I added that at the shortened lengthened line and I'm very happy with the results. I'm so glad that I added that length to the dress. So this dress now hits me about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch above my knee, which is where I like my dresses to finish. I felt like my last version of the Southbank was a little bit more, it read a little bit more like a tunic than a dress, and I wanted this to fit and feel like a dress. So I'm going to search some photos of me wearing this dress. I love it. I like the pockets. The pockets, cutaway pockets on the front, do not disturb the style lines along the side seam. I will admit I have never put the side seam pockets in the Southbank dress for that reason. I don't want to have that extra bulk along the hips. I don't need that. I don't think it looks great. And I think most of the people who have added those pockets to the Southbank ended up going back and taking them out just to clean up those lines. My other make from this week was another Jackson pullover, the Jackson pullover from Helen's Closet. And I showed this earlier in the week because I was so excited, I just couldn't help it. I love the fabric, I love the fit. It is a nice pullover. So that's what I've made. My upcoming plans are to, 1, finish my Christmas dress. I had to make the decision whether I would finish my Christmas dress or finish my gifts that I was sewing in time to have little stress. I chose less stress. So I finished up all the grandchildren's Hudson pants and I had enough fabric to make Charlie a pair to match. He loves that. And I love giving those gifts that make people happy. I get very happy vibes when I get pictures from the kids and I see the grandchildren in the day-to-day wearing things I've made, and I know they love them. I desperately need to bring my primary sewing machine, her name is Astrid, in for service. She is acting up, she needs service. Particularly the buttonholes have been a little bit wonky, and my upcoming plans include a lot of buttonholes, so she needs to go in for service. Also, the embroidery wasn't working so great, so I need to treat her well. She treats me well. I need to get her in for service. So while she's in for service, I'm going to make a few more cozy makes. I've got the serger. I want to get more proficient with my new serger. So I'm going to make myself a pair of Hudson pants. I know. Finally, Christine is getting a pair. After making about 15 pairs of a combine of men and the mini Hudsons, I'm finally making a pair for me. I've adjusted the pattern to make them higher in the waist, and I'm going to give it a go. I've got some French terry that I'm not crazy about. And this first pair may be kind of crazy. I might have to combine several fabrics in order to have enough to test out the size, but I don't want to go into my more expensive fabric or fabric that I got on sale that is really nice. That I'm reserving for successful projects or projects I know that are going to be successful. It never fails. Whenever I make a really crazy combination of fabrics for a test, I end up loving the results. But I've made Hudson's so many times. If I love my first version, I know that I can repeat it fairly quickly. So those are my upcoming sewing plans. As to life, I am missing the kids and the grandchildren, but I'm very thankful to be back in more of a routine. I'm a morning person. I like to be up early, and when you have a house full of people, you don't necessarily want to wake, especially the babies and the parents of the babies, at 5 in the morning. Or even earlier than that. But now that we have the house back to ourselves, I'm back into a routine of getting up early and starting my day early, which has been important. This past week, I've been working every day. We've been doing inventory and staff training at work. I work at a sewing studio, and getting up early allows me to have some time for myself and time to visit with you as well, because I am a little bit out of steam towards the end of the day. If I'm not up early doing the things that I have to do, plus a couple things I want to do, there just isn't a lot that gets done around here. So Charlie and I have been watching a couple of programs. I know I said I was late to the Billie party. I'm late to the party on some Netflix programs. I have been watching Stranger Things. I binged it a little bit while I was making the Billie, which made for a much slower make. And some people can watch and sew at the same time, and I'm not one of those. And then Charlie and I have been watching together Wednesday, which is also on Netflix, and we're enjoying watching that together. I'm going to link in the end cards the video where I talk about my Southbank sweater dress, if you want to see that in comparison to the Billie dress. And I am also going to link a video by Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door where she does a sew along for the Billie, and she talks about some of the adjustments that she's making to the pattern and why she's making them. Until next time, I hope you have a joyful week and you find the good in all things, especially sewing. Bye.